Good afternoon, everybody. This is Fabian with I Wish I Understood, and today I wish I would have a little bit of a better understanding of what I did and what I'm trying to help people understand. I'm going to go over a few scary numbers, going a little more in depth than what I normally would in a formal presentation, because there's a lot of information that goes into this that is kind of, not glossed over, but it doesn't really have, I guess, the impact I think it should. I think these numbers take a little more understanding than just, here's what it is. So I'm going to go down the line and explain a little bit about where we're at as a nation, as far as literacy, as far as preparedness, as far as income streams, as far as just our regular management. And I'm going to try very hard not to show any proprietary stuff, just some links off the websites, because I don't want to get in trouble. So I don't know how compliant this may or may not be, but I'm going to keep as much branded stuff out as possible. In fact, I'm going to not mention anything about product, anything. I just want people to understand what I wish I did myself. I am not a complete expert yet. Obviously not. I am someone just like you who has made mistakes, who has lived it, but someone who's going to be living what he's preaching. These things hit me too. All these statistics, all these numbers, when I did my own financial needs assessment, Jesus. And I keep repeating it, but, it's finally just me talking. Eventually I'll show y'all what that looks like. Not my numbers, no, I'm going to use different. But in the meantime, what I want to introduce y'all to is just, again, where we're at right now. Some interesting things that I found out while poking around, and just to see what we do, what we do with that information. So first of all, let's look at these 6 numbers here. 70% people live paycheck to paycheck. 85% of us hate our jobs. Half of us have so much credit card debt, we're looking at nearly $1 trillion, and that's 2021. Almost half of us can't cover a $400 emergency. 51% have almost nothing for retirement. 4 out of 10 are underinsured or just don't have insurance at all. And only 6 out of 50 states require, state financial, some sort of financial services class to be taught. Now, at first glance, these numbers are bad enough. Let's go a little bit deeper. First of all, income. This number, already bad enough. That's a quarter of the country living paycheck to paycheck. And over a quarter of the country hating to go to the place that they need to go and work paycheck to paycheck. What's worse than that is that's 2019. That is pre-COVID, that is pre-pandemic, that's pre all the layovers, that's pre all the jobs that people just had to take because there was nothing left. And it's also continuing on the reverse side with people demanding certain conditions to go back to work. We still have, low unemployment. We still have, there's a lot of factors that go into that. I'm not trying to, get into those conversations, but I'm just saying that statistic is before our economy crashed, before, all this has been going on for the past couple of years. Let's look at the debt portion. Again, the debt portion is pretty accurate. We've gotten pretty screwed over the past couple of years, and we already had a lot of different types of debt. And I keep scrolling back and forth, but household debt hit 14.6 trillion in just spring of last year. We're just at the spring of this year. The pandemic, of course, grew everything. Student loan debt increased by 12%, mortgage debt increased by 7%, student loan debt, and personal loan debt. But credit cards, for some reason, dropped 73%. That's weird. And then, of course, each age has their own lines of debt too. Gen Z's, they're just starting out, of course. Millennials are developing. Gen X are, they're still raising their families or almost done raising their families. Anyways, what's next? What's next on this thing? Savings. Okay. Savings. I'm just going to go over real quick. Again, savings. Savings is a different number. That's a little old. 2019, pre-COVID, pre-pandemic, pre-diving into the savings to make ends meet. Almost half the country had not a damn thing. And only a quarter of the country had less than... I know I should, it's kind of annoying that I'm just reading some stuff that you can read, but some people are listening to this, so I gotta read. 24% had less than $1,000 in their savings account. This is, back in 2019 where Trump was bragging about the economy. I mean, only Wall Street really felt that economy. We're not Wall Street. We still don't use those same tactics that those guys have mastered over years. But, even they know where to go when things are getting bad. But let's move on. Let's see. The retirement crisis. Number 4. 51% of American adults have little to nothing saved for retirement. And that's true. I don't want to, go too much into this. I just want to go into the interesting stuff that I found. The Bureau of Labor Statistics forecast that by 2030, the workforce will consist of 25% 55 and over. So 25% of the workforce by 2030 are people who should be, preparing to retire. There's also a significant chunk of people who work while retired. Let's see. Oh, and before I move on from this portion, according to the what are they called? The Employee Benefit Research Institute. The Employee Benefit Research Institute, I had to look it up. I'd never heard of them before, but obviously, their job is to research this stuff. 71% of workers think that their job is going to take care of them when it's time for them to retire. That's as of a couple of years ago. Again, pre-COVID numbers. And a third of people think that they're still going to be working while they're retired. Yeah, these numbers are just getting worse and worse the longer we go on. And I'm only doing this once because this is all the negative stuff that I just want to make people aware of, that we need to work on and save ourselves on. It's a lot of length, it's a lot of stuff, and really, quite frankly, if you're interested, you're gonna reach out or you're gonna look into it yourself. And that's why I'm only gonna do this portion once. Now, life insurance. Life insurance is super simple. Use a calculator. Anytime your income changes, you get married, you have children, you buy a new home, make sure you look at your life insurance and make sure that it's going to be enough. There's a lot of different ways to calculate that. You take your income, you multiply it by 10. That's a good way to do it. You can look at, you know, how many years it takes for your youngest to get to 18. You can look at how much, if you just want to pay off the house. There's just a bunch of different ways to look at life insurance. But the most important thing to remember about life insurance is that it comes in two forms: term and perm. Life insurance isn't for the dead. It is absolutely for the living as well. There are a lot of things that life insurance does these days that benefit everybody in the event of a major illness, or it benefits people who want to grow a little wealth more securely. They want to look at getting, tax deferment. They want to look at a whole lot of different avenues of growing their financial footprint. And again, if you're interested, you'll reach out. If not, I'm wasting my time. Either way, I'm bored. And I like this because this has been really interesting learning. And as nerve-wracking it is to make these videos with my stupid face on them, it is just too interesting of a world to not share. Finding out how money works, finding out how, I guess, the elite use all this has been pretty incredible. It's I mean, when you're looking to, I guess, seek out shelter, seek out some sort of safety, you follow the people who already know what they're doing and been doing it for a long time. And that's what I'm trying. And I'm just rambling at this point. Jesus, I need to stop doing that. Anyways, let's just go. Okay, so this is the final one. This I thought was kind of funny. Forgive my ramblings. Yeah, whatever. And this is the one I found interesting. Literacy. It's only 6 states require some sort of personal finance class. Now, it's not entirely true. Right now, currently, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that require it outright as of right now. A couple of states, well, yeah, it's 2022 now, so Mississippi and North Carolina probably added to it, so it makes 7. Okay. Now, they claim that there are 21, but when you break it down, none of it makes any sense. None of it is where you think it would be. Now, there are some states that make it a standalone course. You're required to take it in any of these states. The stripe states, there are stripes. Okay, so again, for the listeners, here are the states that mandate it: Utah, Iowa, Tennessee, North Carolina, Virginia, and Alabama. Alabama requires it. Out of those states, only Utah requires it to be on standardized testing. That's very interesting. Now, other states did it a different way. Other states they didn't require a standalone course, they required it to be integrated into other courses. Those states are Texas, Arizona, Idaho, North Dakota, Missouri, depending on where you're from, Arkansas, Mississippi, Georgia, South Carolina, Ohio, Kentucky, Michigan, New York, and New Hampshire. And again, out of those states, only Michigan, Missouri, and Georgia require testing. And then there are some states that just haven't really gotten on the program. They just don't. So less than half of the country really does anything about it, and really only 4 states make sure that, no, 5, well, no, because Colorado does. So Colorado is weird because Colorado doesn't require the class, offer the class, but they still expect it on testing. Okay, whatever, Colorado. But it's very interesting that that there are only 4 states in the country that require and test for these kind of things. And also very interesting where they fall on, you know, the most or least educated states in the country. Anyways, thought it was fascinating. Something you might want to look into. And then credit card debt. Sorry, that wasn't the last one. Credit card debt. No shit. We've all racked up a bunch of debt because of the virus. Anyways. So, you know, at the end of the day, you know, you really gotta trust the person that you're working with. Because a lot of the agents, I mean, yeah, just looking at numbers, bad segue. It's because I, you know, skipping some stuff. In the end, a lot of us, you know, representative agents, you know, insurance whatevers, we all work for the same people. You know, we all have the same contracts with the same people, whether it's a big tower, big mountain, a whale, a bird. You know, it all comes down to whether you trust them, whether you trust them to know what they're talking about, whether you trust them to care. It's not our job to just pigeonhole you into some product just because it's going to suit us. You know, this is your life, your future, and we're tasked with trying to make sure that it grows and grows and you can actually attain a real wealth or a real retirement. Because right now we're pretty much constantly at war with the four biggest enemies of wealth. These guys: taxes, inflation, losses, and indecision. These guys we ain't got any control about. We can't do shit about these guys. Well, maybe that one. Not these guys. Well, maybe that one. Not this one, though. Oh, yeah, okay, you know, bad joke. Okay, third time, it's not funny anymore. But seriously, these are the 4 things that people think there's no way around. And we bitch and complain every single day about the wealthy elite, the 1%, who never have to worry about any of these. There's reasons for it, and it's available to us. But the way the system is rigged, we're not supposed to know. You know, that we're only supposed to know just a little bit of the game. A little bit just to get in to feed the whole system. You know, we're not taught this, the rule of 72. We've never heard of it before. It's super simple and can be applied to a lot of different things. Super simple. You take your interest rate, you divide it by, you know, you take 72 divided by the interest rate of whatever it is you're trying to figure out, and there's your number. How long it takes to double. It can also work in reverse for inflation rate. Take the current inflation rate, take 72 divided by inflation rate. How long does it take for your money to half in value? Most of the time, you know, most banks, most CDs, they're somewhere in between these numbers, but there's far better growth out there. Far better ways to do it. Whether it's, you know, hard investing, whether it's crypto, whether it's any of those, there are just much better ways than what we're normally taught. You know, we're taught to look at maybe one of these. A fixed account, like a regular bank account that has, you know, such and such percentage, and that's it. Doesn't go anywhere, doesn't drop, no, it just just there. And then you have your stock market, your variables, your ups and downs, aggressive growth and all that. But, especially in times of now, there's a lot of loss. There's a lot of risk. But there's a lot of reward, It's personal choice. And then there's this way, indexed, where you don't lose anything, but also necessarily, depending on what's going on with the market, you don't gain anything either. There may be some years where you don't, gain any, like right here, where you wouldn't gain any sort of interest rate in your growth whatsoever. However, when those losses occur, or a new rise happens, you're protected or you're boosted. Lots of things are indexed. Indexed comes in a lot of forms. Indexed annuities, indexed life. It depends on the kind of vehicle you want and, again, what your goals are. And then just taxes. People want to figure out how to pay less, how to avoid taxes altogether, how to, be at the same level as the billionaires, the trillionaires, the however millionaires. When do you want to be taxed? Do you want to be taxed like a normal person? Do you want to be taxed like Jeff Bezos? Because you can get taxed now. All the stuff that we're used to, stocks, crypto, bank accounts, you can be taxed later. Your 401ks, your pensions, your retirement accounts, your regular IRAs, the stuff that we're used to. Or the never taxed, the tax advantage, cash value life, Roth, other things, other services, other different avenues for the tax advantage way. Because who the hell knows what taxes are going to look like when it comes to that? Now, we didn't talk about inflation, but a lot of these types of accounts, products, whatever. I'm trying to avoid the word because, I don't, want to sound salesy, but there are a lot of different things that people may not know about that have clauses for inflation. They grow with the inflation so that by the time you do want to access your money, it's not out of date, I guess is a way to put it. So after, just a little bit of exposure, just a tiny bit of what may or may not be out there, what you could learn about, it really comes down to asking yourself just a few things. And yes, I'm going to read them, but this might be proprietary, so I'm going to take it off the screen. So seriously, I have to answer this one with a yes and no. But are you where you thought you would be financially in life? Yes or no? I'm a maybe. Got some things that could be improved, got some things that I wish and that I'm great with, but the past 2 years have changed everything for everybody. Some people, again, lost their jobs. Some people got a whole bunch of Biden bucks just sitting in a savings account, don't know what to do with it. Do you have the flexibility to do the things you want to do? Whether it's vacation, whether it's, just take a random day off and hang out with the family, whether it's splurge on a nice night out, buy the finest bottle of wine that they have in the restaurant and just live it up for the night. Could you do that right now? Are you happy with the balance in your checking and savings? Simple, yes or no. I don't think anybody is ever a yes. I mean, maybe some people are. Some people are humble like that. This is a big one. Does your income reflect the value, your perceived value that you bring to your company, your employer? Do you think that you're paid what you're worth? Or do you think that you should have your money working for you? Do you think that, if you did things a little bit better, that, you can tell your boss to, and, actually have that value, that net worth that you really wish that you think you deserve, that you think you're worth, that you're worth? And does your current career just have the financial horsepower? Are they giving you the support? Do you have the 401ks to back it up? Do you have, quarterly bonuses that can help out achieve your goals? Whether it's, your retirement goals, your savings goals, are they providing you with the tools that you need? And then it finally comes down to this. What I would truly do. We would go down your finances. We would look at what's coming and going. We would look at your goals, whether you want to buy a home, whether you want to buy a boat, whether you want to retire tomorrow. It doesn't matter. Everyone has a goal. Everyone wants something out of this life before they go. Or they already have a picture in their mind of what retirement's going to look like. And throughout my years of, being on insurance and not focusing on this, I've seen people who just live off the Social Security and that's it. They have no flexibility outside, the $800 to $1,200 they get a month. And it's sad that, no one ever talked to them. I don't want that for our generation. We've built, look at crypto. We basically built an entire economy ourselves. We're building, future this and future that. But that doesn't mean we should forget about, some of the stuff that's been around for forever. There's a reason why these things have existed for, I think I found what was like the Roman times, and they went under the name of like an Anu or an Anui or something. I gotta look that up. I'll look that up and I'll put that in another episode. Remind me. These but again, that's not, I keep going back to that because I'm just, it's a weird thing to find out all the loopholes and all the strategies and all the things that all the features that these things are capable of without, just going into, it's a hard thing. But basically, after we have this lengthy conversation, after I understand what it is that you want to do, it's my job to make it happen, to make it a reality. Whether it's just slapping your hand and telling you to stop with the Amazon orders 3 times a day, whether it's just telling you no more Starbucks or 2. With me, it was Amazon. You kidding me? Amazon and Grubhub. You kidding me? It's super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Have to have all that stuff delivered and get so lazy and yeah. We got out of control with our spending. I know I'm not the only one. I know when I first saw this, before I joined this company, I had a bunch of people in mind. Not that they're in a bad situation, but because important things have happened to them and they should probably look into having somebody at their back. especially somebody who's, going to be walking the path with them. This has become an obsession ever since I started this. It's a whole new way to protect people. Health is just one aspect. Life is just one aspect. But wealth is an aspect that can be passed down for generations. We're headed for a very big shift in our world and the way we know it and the way we interact with it. And, that's not conspiracy theory or anything. It's just the writing's on the wall. We're going more digital. We're going more off the regular markets. And we need to be able to marry both. Look towards the future while still having at least a little bit in the securities of the past. The ideas that worked. Or the ideas that are usually closely held secrets. And I want to share with y'all, later on in future episodes, a lot of reading that I've been doing. Yeah, I've actually been doing reading. Holy shit, right? It's amazing what you can do when your brain works. But, some of the stuff that I've been finding is these are from experts. These are from the people who have made their millions, have had the system work for them. And I say the system, but I mean the economy. Who looked at it, looked at what's available, looked at how money flows, what goes where, what the people before him did, or them did. And it is incredibly fascinating and stuff that, I'm a quarter through my life-ish, and I'm just now finding out. After buying a house, having children, having all these things that I should have not only financially planned for, but constantly checked up on after every single thing. And I don't want anybody, any of my loved ones, any of my friends to be blindsided. And it's fucking free. Give me 30 minutes. Actually, the financial analysis takes a while. Like an hour. I just want you to know where you're at. Hope you're good. Or make you better. So thank you very much. Y'all have a great day. Take care.